Hi, I'm Noelle Floyd from noellefloyd.com. I'm from Vancouver, Canada. So I moved to Europe after writing in California with Chris Pratt. I moved to Europe in 2011, and I started writing for a Belgian writer called Mark van Dijk. And I had friends in North America who asked me to start a blog to just talk about what it was like in Europe and who I was meeting and what shows we were going to, and it just took off from there. So I'm originally a writer, and I started doing this because I was interested in the sport and I love the sport, and I thought the writers were really cool, especially the new generation, our generation that's coming through. It's a really interesting group of people that are really great athletes, and they're really easy to promote. So that's how I got into it, and I'm passionate about it, so it's nice to do what you love. Yeah, I was a professional writer, but not at any. I was never showing in 5 or 4-star events. I was showing at a lower level, mostly young horses. So I mean, I for sure had my taste of being a professional writer, but I was never going to be world ranked or anything. If you're a passionate writer and you have a lot of competitive experience, I think it's really great to go over to Europe and to just work for a top European stable over there and gain experience that way. So I think I was always going to do that. I studied business in university, so I was never going to do it as a career. I was always just wanting to do it as life experience, and I would suggest to anyone to do that because I think it's really valuable. But I just discovered in 2012, in the spring of 2012, I started making friends with some really great riders, and everyone's just suggested that I continue doing what I was doing, and so I took it and I just ran with it, and I continued riding in 2012, but as I got more busy it became more difficult, and then in 2013 Global Champions Tour approached me, and I wrote and worked for them as a consultant for everything from content on their website to social media to photographic content to liaising with the riders. So I sort of was a jack of all trades for them in 2013.
So you started.
I did the Sunshine Tour in Spain. I rode young horses there, and I developed a really good relationship with John Whitaker, and we would just exchange stories and talk about what it was like when he rode in 1980 at the Olympic Games, were boycotted because Russia had invaded Afghanistan. So a lot of countries like Britain and America had boycotted the Olympic Games. So they went and did a makeshift Olympics in 1980 in Rotterdam. And so things like that, stories that came up, and I just thought, God, these are so great. These stories are never told. And as a North American rider, I'd never heard them. I'd ridden my whole life. I'd never heard about John Whitaker's pursuits. I'd never heard about Michael Whitaker. I knew these riders, but I didn't know them as intimately as all the riders in Europe knew them. So I thought the stories had to be told. I thought we needed, in North America specifically, to get a little bit more of an insight into the epicenter of show jumping, which is in Europe. Yeah, so it just became more popular. The website started getting bigger and bigger hits. The shows were really understanding. I was a bit surprised. I started in 2012, and I was invited to Aachen. I was invited to all the major shows. I was able to go to all the Global Champions Tours. I actually went to the London Olympics thanks to the Saudi equestrian team. I got some great invitations, and also Stefan Conter from Stefex Stables. They all made it really easy for me to attend the shows. Attend the days at the London Olympics, and so I really owed it to everyone was very much behind me, and that's why I did well in 2012, and then we did better in 2013, and now in 2014, I'm happy to say it's one of the top show jumping websites. We just got our hits this year, so yeah, it's doing really well. We're really happy.
And do you write all the articles on it?
Yes, so I do I have help on the back end of it. So I have a tech team behind me now that manages all the little stuff that It's a little bit over my head. And then I also have a few photographic contributions. Selena Frederick from the California circuit, she contributes a lot. Erin Gilmore, she's helped me out on photographic content as well. Jessica Rodriguez, she's a great photographer. She's a beautiful photographer, and she helps me also with photographic content. She's from France. So, I mean, it's not a one-person show anymore. It's very much a collaboration of a bunch of people. I just happen to have my name on it, but... Yeah, so all the written stuff is my own, unless I have a guest writer or unless it's a press release that needs to be released in its entirety without any additions made to it. So if and that happens too, I usually keep to the written material for Global Champions for press releases, and of course last year I was writing them, so so I kept to my own word. Yeah, so for sure I keep some press releases as is. So now I'm a PR consultant, and I help a select few riders on their overall public profile and their media platform, as you will. So I assist Ben Mayer in this, Dota Miranda, Athena Onassis with Victory Equestrian, and Kent Farrington as well are amongst my clients this year. So I do a bit of that, which is really nice. And then as well, I continue being a photojournalist, which is essentially what NoelleFloyd.com is. It's a website that allows me to, promote the sport as a photojournalist. Well, technically, I'm not a professional photographer. I mean, in the sense of it's my schooling. But my mother was a photographer. My mother is a photographer. She's an amazing photographer. So she's the one who taught me everything, and she's the one who inspired me. And my brother is a really talented videographer as well. So it's very much in the family. He's an excellent photographer. He's even better than me. But it's in the family for sure. My mom taught me. She put a camera in my hand when I was about 7 or 8. So.
What's your favorite tip, or what's one tip?
Well, I would get a good camera, but there's a lot of good amateur. There's a great amateur series from Canon and from Nikon. I personally use a Nikon, but a lot of people use Canon. Jessica Rodriguez uses a Canon, I believe. It's both excellent camera companies. I would suggest putting your shutter speed quite fast. I would say that's probably the best way. Also, to work on your timing. Taking a great photograph is all about timing and just following the horse and rider around the ring. So I would say some of my most popular photos were actually not technically perfect photos. They might be slightly overexposed, or they might be just after the horse peeked over the fence and it's just coming down. You never know which photo is going to be the best one, so take as many as you can and then look at them afterwards, and sometimes the one that is best is not the one you expected. I like going to the in-gate, of course, because sure I love that I love that emotion, because I know the feeling myself when you come out of the ring and you've done all that hard work and it's all worked to your advantage. So I really like when the riders celebrate after, when they cross the last fence and they hit the right time and they're winning the class at that moment. Of course, I love capturing that moment, but I also really love the course walk, because the course walk really captures the riders when they're really truly focused and they're getting a really great idea of what their plan is for the Grand Prix or for the class that they're walking in on that day. But also it gets the riders, the ones who are friends, they collaborate and they go and they'll talk amongst each other and they'll talk about their plan. So I really like those moments. I like the moments where they come together, because it's an individualistic sport, but there's so much team atmosphere in show jumping that people don't get to see if you just watch it. If you just watch the class, there's a lot of team aspects to the sport that I think you can see when you watch the course walk and when you watch people rooting each other on and stuff like that. So, oh wow. Okay. I'd have to list a few. So Aachen for sure is one of the most amazing shows to ever go to. When you see 40,000 plus people watching the sport you love, that's one of the most amazing things you've ever seen. And it's the sheer atmosphere of Aachen is unbelievable. Global Champions Tour does really great events like London. London last year was really fun, and this year's going to be even better. So any Global Champions Tour event is always just really purely class. I mean, Jan Tops creates an absolutely purely class act when it comes to shows. The Saut Hermes Horse Show in Paris, that's a wonderful show as well. The Gucci Horse Show in Paris is also great. And of course, I love Wellington. I like Wellington because it's just everyone comes here from all over the place. Riders get to see each other that they never got to see each other before. So I like Wellington here. The WEF is a really fun. It's a unique show. It's getting bigger and bigger, so that's for sure. That's something interesting. And then, of course, Spruce Meadows. But Spruce Meadows is like my home show, so that is for sure. I have a soft spot for Spruce Meadows.
That's the lowest one would you go? Like if you had one day to go shoot something else.
If I had one day, I'd probably go shoot the cross country 3-day eventing. I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie, so I think I would really like to watch and capture some of those moments for sure.